In our last video, we shared some practical tips on virtual logistics. In this video, we'll talk about virtual content, how to grab your audience right off the top and keep them throughout.
The biggest rule here is before you talk, we're going to ask you to think. You want to identify your communications goals and know your audience. So before your meeting, you really need to ask yourself, what am I trying to accomplish? What is my win for this specific meeting and for the long run? And then you link your preparation to that goal. So that's about setting your goal. The next is knowing your audience. So in order to reach your audience, you really have to assess what do they need to know? What don't they already know? What do they want to hear? What's important to them? And also, what's the biggest barrier they have to actually being persuaded by your message? So that's going to be important for you to know too when you develop your content. Then once you know those two things, very simple steps, easy to do right at the beginning of thinking about getting ready for your meeting or your presentation, then you want to move to content development. And I know you know what this means, right? Keep your message short and simple. So as Albert Einstein said, if you can't explain it simply, you just don't understand it well enough. And we follow that advice as well. When it comes to content development, Penny's always reminding me, and I think it comes from her years and years in television journalism, I have to get to the point. Enough of all of these sort of steps along the way. I just need to deliver the headline. I really need to think about what my key messages are going to be and how I'll plan for Q&A. Because whether we're in this virtual environment or whenever we finally get a chance to meet in person again, one thing's going to be the same. We're still going to have a limited amount of time, so we have to use it well. So let me talk to you about a process that we use, and that is really about structuring your message for the way that people process information. So let me show you an example here, right, Penny? So this is a woman who is reading the newspaper. She's scanning it. And what is it that will attract her attention to want to read one of these stories or skip another story?
The headline.
Of course, it's the headline. It's the headline. And people forget that. We forget that we're drawn in by a headline that allows us to invite the audience into our conclusion of our story, and then we kind of unfold the facts. And the headline really allows you to control the message, and that what takes us to the structure that we use all the time that provides a framework for how to do that. And that's called the 3D message pyramid, which is something that helps you provide clarity as well as context. And of course, as Penny just mentioned with our example of the woman scanning the newspaper, we start with the headline. We start with the headline, which is really your conclusion. That headline allows you to really get to the point, tell your audience what your message is all about. And then, of course, you get a chance to deliver everybody's favorite, the facts and the data. You need the facts and the data because you have to prove your headline. You have to tell the audience that you're a credible source of information, and the facts and the data help you demonstrate that. And then to help really bring it to life, because studies show us that people need more than just facts and data. They need examples and stories. You got to build that into your message. You need an example of a story to help bring your headline to life, to help your audience really visualize what you're saying. And then, of course, you get to your bottom line, something that will really make them remember it.
Okay, overall, when developing your virtual content, you have to know why you're talking, who you're talking to, and how to make the content memorable. And just like in person, make it interactive. Check out our next video for how to effectively manage discussion in the virtual world. Thanks for watching. We'll see you then.